Welcome. Let's take a look at a risk event now for the week starting Monday, the 7th of November. And I want to focus in on earnings from Disney after the closing bell on Tuesday. It's an all-session stock, so you can trade this on the IG platform. Let's take a look at the numbers. As despite the fact we've got lots of moving parts here, the broad sweep of analysts is that we're going to get earnings per share at 59 cents on revenues at just shy of $21.4 billion. Now, theme parks hit by zero COVID recently, but we're hearing from China that the zero COVID policy may now be over, moving to a more tolerant environment, which could help theme parks. The studios, the Marvel acquisition continues to provide a lot of opportunities, but the big question is about inflation and how Disney Studios are going to control inflation, control base costs, because that is going to be a big issue outlook from here in terms of wages, in terms of cost for sets and so forth. And then, of course, the third aspect is, I think, the most important one is the streaming, hit by Netflix attempts to steal the low-line subscription. Let's take a look at the share price chart, because I think this says a lot. From the COVID lows we had here down at $79 back in March 2020, we saw a 160% rise almost in that. During that period, we saw Disney bring streaming to the masses. And of course, a lot of people use streaming as a way to entertain themselves while they were being locked down. But since the highs we saw at $205 back on March, we've seen a lot of downside as people gave up some of the streaming. It became obvious that it was more difficult, perhaps maybe to keep subscribers going and indeed get more subscribers. And of course, there are a lot of streaming companies now which are vying for this. And the most recently, we've seen Netflix in its attempts to steal the low-line subscriptions with a new cut price, discounted, advertisement-driven policy. And that undercuts Disney. And this is going to be a problem for Disney. Disney shares trade all sessions on the IG platform. You can trade this when the numbers come out after the closing bell on Tuesday. On Friday's all session stock, we're currently trading just shy of the $100 level. If you are short on this, which I think is my base case, that I think that Disney is going to produce something which could well be a bit of a disappointment, I think you put your stop above this area up here at around about the 109 level, with a view to taking this lower down and possibly passing the 90-20 level if we do get a dire outlook from the company. But this is fiscal fourth quarter numbers out after the closing bell on Tuesday. Could be an interesting point to watch out for as we look towards the new trading week and a risk event to consider.